In the sleepy village of Maple Hollow, nestled between pine-lined ridges and cornfields, life moved at a slower, more familiar pace. Everyone knew everyone. Doors were left unlocked. People waved at passing cars, and children played freely without fear. Among its 1,200 residents was Caleb Walker, a name spoken with fondness, if not admiration. Caleb moved to Maple Hollow when he was 15. His parents had died in a car accident, and his aunt, Martha, took him in. Despite the trauma of losing his family, Caleb adapted quickly. He was quiet, respectful, always willing to help with odd jobs or carry groceries for elderly neighbors. He fixed broken fences, mowed lawns, and sat in the back pew every Sunday. No one ever suspected the darkness that quietly brewed beneath that calm surface. The incident. It was the morning of September 8th, a crisp Sunday when the town learned of the tragedy. Margaret Thompson, an 82-year-old widow known for baking peach cobbler and handing out candy to schoolchildren, was found dead in her living room. Her door had been forced open. Her savings, kept in a rusted tin beneath her bed, were gone. The shock was palpable. In a village untouched by serious crime for decades, Margaret's murder felt like an earthquake. The sheriff launched an investigation immediately. People whispered names of recent passers-by, speculated about truckers, and blamed unfamiliar faces seen at the gas station. But no one dared imagine Caleb could be involved. Not Caleb, who once shoveled Margaret's driveway without asking. The cracks begin to show. 2 weeks later, the sheriff's department received an anonymous tip. Caleb had been seen with a large wad of cash at a bar in the next town over. He had paid off an overdue mechanic bill in full and bought new work boots. When questioned, Caleb claimed he'd found work laying tile for a construction company in a neighboring city. The story seemed plausible until the company denied employing him. The sheriff, once a friend of Caleb's aunt, started looking deeper. Caleb's alibi fell apart under scrutiny. His fingerprints, left on a shattered window pane at Margaret's house, sealed his fate. He was arrested quietly at dawn, when they found some of the stolen money hidden in an old toolbox under his bed. The truth could no longer hide. The confession. In a tear-filled confession, Caleb admitted to breaking into Margaret's house late at night. He didn't mean to hurt her, he claimed. He thought she was asleep. But when she woke up and reached for the phone, panic overtook him. He shoved her to the floor, and in the scuffle, she struck her head on the corner of a coffee table. "I just wanted to take the money and leave," Caleb sobbed in court. "I didn't want to hurt her. I swear I didn't." The community's grief. The village reeled. Caleb's arrest felt like a betrayal of everything Maple Hollow stood for. Martha stopped attending church. Children were told not to speak his name. The local paper ran an editorial titled, "The Stranger Among U.S." But those who had known Caleb the longest didn't feel anger as much as heartache. "He was a good kid," said Mr. Dewey, the school's retired janitor. "There must have been something eating him inside." And there was. As it turned out, Caleb had been struggling for years. After his aunt fell ill and could no longer work, Caleb juggled 2 part-time jobs. Their roof leaked. Bills piled up. He had applied for aid, but paperwork delays and bureaucratic red tape left him drowning. Desperate and ashamed to ask for help, Caleb believed Margaret, who had once confided in him about the money she kept at home, was the only option left. The consequences. Caleb was sentenced to 22 years for manslaughter and robbery. As he was led away in cuffs, he looked at the townspeople gathered outside the courthouse. Some looked away, others glared. A few wept. Maple Hollow hasn't been the same since. Margaret's house sits empty, a for sale sign crooked in the yard. Martha moved in with relatives in Ohio. The annual harvest festival was canceled that year. No one had the heart. But the village learned something too. That quiet doesn't always mean peace, and desperation can live right next door. Trust, once broken, takes generations to rebuild. Epilogue. Years later, a local journalist wrote a book about the case titled The Quiet Storm, The Caleb Walker Story. In it, he reflected on the tragedy with these words. Caleb wasn't a monster. He was a man who made a monstrous mistake in a moment of hopelessness. And in a place like Maple Hollow, where we think we know each other so well, his story reminds us that even the familiar can hold secrets, and that sometimes the greatest danger isn't from those we don't know, but from the ones we think we do.